Hey, Lou, at what point in the game can you tell that a quarterback is starting to get a little bit confused by what you're throwing at him? And what are some of the telltale signs?
I think, certainly if there's panic type throws, where he's just not sure, holding the ball maybe a little bit longer than they normally do. But I think our guys did a good job the other day with both disguising what we were trying to do and ended up in the right spot. So.
Jake.
Hey Lou, so X told us yesterday he was able to give the defense some tips to really get everyone going in the right direction. He felt they really helped against Miami's offense, and that both he and you have maybe a little extra motivation in this matchup. So what did that mean? I guess for it to be against the Dolphins, but also to set such a high tone in week one of the season when everyone's really learning this defense for the first time.
No, I think it was great for the guys to come out the way they did and their energy and their enthusiasm. And, certainly execution fuels the emotion. And, we came out of the gate hot and did a good job taking the ball away quickly. And, I was excited for the players. They put in a ton of work, to lead up to that. And, that's just 1 week. So we got a long way to go, but I'm happy with where we're at.
Joel.
You guys used both Joe and Cam there at weak side linebacker. What do you like about the kind of the mixing of those two together?
Yeah, I think we'll continue to go that route. Both guys bring a different skill set, and as many guys as we can use on the roster, on the active game day roster, we're going to use. We don't want anybody standing on the sideline. So both Cam and Joe do different things, and we're trying to use their things that they do well, use them to our advantage.
JJ, go ahead.
Lou, I'm sure you saw, plenty of Buck obviously in practice, but was there anything new that you learned about him watching him in the game, watching the film from week one?
I just think, it is what you see. You see an ultimate pro, you see a guy that gives anybody in a one-on-one situation trouble. Not really, but just a calming influence on the sideline. Ask him questions about the next stunt that he thought would work, and those guys are out there, so we're going to lean on them heavily for certain things.
But talking to him about maybe the stunts that work, like as the game went on, did you start, leaning into that a little bit more with him in some of the games or having guys loop around him, just that versatility?
Yeah, just hey, I'm thinking this, and what do you think about that particular one? And then what's next? How would you want to play off that? So just good communication on the side. As I mentioned, those are the guys that are out there. So when you can lean on them for certain things, for a game or something like that, we certainly will do it.
Kevin.
Lou, what do you think of your guys tackling, particularly through the first three quarters when the game was still, I guess, somewhat in doubt?
Yeah, I was pleased. We were. You can always shoot for no missed tackles. We had it at 5. I think if you can be 5, I think we had it for 35 yards after the contact. If you're living in the 4 or 5, 6 max world, you're going to be pretty good. Again, you don't want any, but this is a hard league. Those guys get paid on the other side too. So I was pleased. There was some situations where could have done better, but we took a step in the right direction.
I know Shane mentioned yesterday you guys opted for more defensive tackles and DNs in terms of dressing guys. What does JT need to do to get into that top 4, I guess, of the D end grouping?
JT's doing a great job. He's we just happen to be fortunate where we've got great depth there with veteran players. So, each game plan will be a little bit different based on who we're playing and how we manage the game day roster. But I love JT. I love everything he's going to bring to us. His time will come.
Joel, go ahead.
What do you guys like with Mekhi Blackman?
Well, I just think he brings an element of speed to the group. He's a good cover guy, he's sticky, he's fearless. He was on Tyreek a couple times, and he didn't flinch. So We went into the game knowing that we couldn't let, 17 and 10, do what they normally do. Unfortunately, we were able to do that. And he was a big part of that.
And then just real quick, what's the toughest thing about going against Sean Payton?
He's been doing it at a high level for so long. He just always changing within the game. Going to have things specific to your team that he's playing against, and does just a great job calling the game and trying to keep you off balance. So, ultimate respect there for sure.
We'll do a few more here. Kent.
Hey, Lou. On a day like you guys had where you allow 8 and it was a late 8, how long does it take you to say, okay, we need to clean this stuff up? And what's one of the things you guys need to clean up?
Well, just some of our run fits. That'll be a big part of this week, making sure that, we don't let any runs get out. We had one last week that we were, in a position to stop the play, and we didn't. So we got to make sure we clean that up. But I would think the emphasis this week, certainly with the Broncos, a power run team, we got to make sure that we're clean in all areas, specifically in our run fits.
And we can do last question here with James.
Lou, talking to a lot of the guys, they're excited about, possibilities of his defense. So what is it like to get some validation for all the work you've put in, but still have that hunger to kind of close the gap to where you want to be ultimately?
Yeah, I think that, we started back in April. We had a vision. The players and our assistant coaches on defense have done a great job. We were able to be successful in week 1. That to me is a starting point. Certainly helps. Winning validates everything that you're trying to do for sure. But we got a great mindset. We've had a great mindset since I've gotten here, and I think, every week's going to be different. We want to come out with the same energy and enthusiasm that we did this past Sunday every week. It's a long year, but we certainly started off the right way.
All we've got today for you, Lou. Thanks so much.
Thank you.